Not one word I think.
Guru Seva.
Voice is not clear.
Ah,
Voice
not
is
clear.
not clear.
They are saying it is not clear.
Yeah, we just heard voice is not very clear, right? Chitrama will see something else we can work out. It's not clear.
So don't go. But I was not prepared to hear. I was unable. And I felt that what I was doing was not done by the right spirit. And I knew that unless
No.
We
You
close
transfer
it?
it. It's not clear.
Not clear.
Not clear. As the voice is not clear, we will try to transcribe, some of these days. And we will try to read it out to you. At the time of his 50th year of dedication to ashram, Swamiji composed a humble prayer to beloved Papa. So many points are there as spiritual aspirants for us to imbibe, to ponder, to deeply contemplate upon the contents of it. So we will just read and see. Prostrations at the holy feet of my most beloved Papa. I don't speak usually because I have nothing to speak. I only try to love everyone in a proper way. That is by looking upon all as the manifestation of my most beloved Papa. When Swamiji says beloved Papa, he stands for the indwelling reality as well as the all-pervading reality. This also we should bear in mind, not the form itself. I can't say I am 100% successful in this attempt, but I am still trying. The more we try, the more joy we get. By loving one person, we get great joy. And if you are able to love all, we get infinite joy. In the same way, to be loved by one is a great joy. And to be loved by all gives us immense joy. It is all a play of love and joy. True love means loving another, feeling oneness with him. Absence of otherness. It is not the love that we have defined as love. We are trying to understand it through our own meaning of love. Then we will not be able to reach. Yesterday, as we said, we develop affinity, we love people, but the moment that person does not behave in the way in which we want, then our love may recede or fade away. That is not the love. Here, absence of otherness. True love means loving another, feeling oneness with him. The other may apparently be different, but we are really one. In fact, the whole universe is a single unit of the Saguna Swarupa of our beloved Papa, who himself is the substratum for the manifestation. So 100% it is non-impersonal. When he says beloved Papa, because that is the language which Mataji taught us, Why we are all talking about only Papa, Papa? Because our mind has been habituated to hearing these words. Though Papa always maintained that you should see the real Ramdas, the real Papa. We should bring this in our mind. Otherwise, again, we will not be deriving the real benefit from all these words. Every time when the word beloved Papa is used by Puja Swamiji, he also means the impersonal aspect. Then only it can become global, universal, So he clearly defines here, the whole universe is a single unit of the Saguna Swarupa of our beloved Papa, who himself is the substratum for the manifestation. We are all one, belonging to the universal body of our beloved Papa. Universal body. When I stand apart from that universal manifestation and look upon all of you as His innumerable and different forms, it gives me great joy. And to go on loving that way is the best thing that we can do. Again, no? We'll go through that. Something for all of us to deeply ponder, no? We are all one, belonging to the universal body of beloved Papa, the whole cosmos, or universe. When I stand apart, the sense of individuality stands apart. From that universal manifestation, as a part of it, no doubt, and look upon all of you as these innumerable different forms, it gives me great joy, and go on loving that way is the best thing that we can do. So not the personal aspect, the articulating force behind it, the life force behind it, the power behind everything. We don't have to speak anything, we don't have to thank anybody for anything, because our dealings are only with our beloved Papa. There are only two existing, that myself and my beloved Papa in his innumerable forms, me and God in innumerable forms. When Papa was talking to us, he said, Ram and Ramdas. Papa, in the course of his play through his innumerable forms, hides himself in those forms. He has put on a mask of ignorance in each form and pretends that he is not what he really is. All of us. We have forgotten our original nature. We assume the sense of individuality as the ultimate one. So that means the core of our being has put a mask of ignorance. So that we at the moment apparently we feel disconnected with the core of our being. And we function as an absolute individual. Papa, in the course of his play through his innumerable forms, suppose he is a God, in the course of his play through his innumerable forms, hide himself in those forms. He has put on a mask of ignorance in each form, pretends that he is not what he really is. What I do is, whenever I see you all, I put my head at your feet mentally and salute you, because you are all the embodiments of beloved Papa himself. One method he was trying, so that the sense of individuality is not recognized in everybody. So the sense of individuality which stands apart, fully knowing that it is a part and parcel of the cosmic being, when it sees another form, because from the sense of individuality there is another form, so he mentally places his head at the feet of all the creation, so that he is reminded of the core of the being in that particular form. What I do is, whenever I see you all, I put my head at your feet mentally and salute you, because you are all the embodiments of beloved Papa himself, the Lord himself, the God himself. My only prayer today is that I should be able to get established in that experience of seeing everybody as nothing but beloved Papa's innumerable forms, and at the same time be conscious of his eternal, all-pervading presence, both in the form and the formless. That is the prayer he put. My only prayer today is that I should be able to get established in that experience of seeing everybody as nothing but God's innumerable forms, and at the same time be conscious of His eternal all-pervading presence. I take this opportunity also to pray to Him to remove that mask of ignorance in those of you who aspire for the highest and make you realize your oneness with Him and thus be free from the ignorance from which you are suffering. May He grant my prayer that all of us should enjoy the supreme happiness by realizing our oneness with Him. This is His prayer. It is not an ordinary prayer. When we are trying to remember Him intensely on His Jayanti day on the 12th, let us try to bring all these dimensions. As a spiritual aspirant, we need all these things. From the surface level to a deeper level, we have to go. And this is what our masters showed us in their life. And Swamiji gives here how his perspective, his approach and his sadhana. We can take something out of it. We will again read. Prostrate, wherever the name Papa is there, in order to avoid confusion, we will say God, okay? Or prostrations at the holy feet of my God. I don't speak usually because I feel I have nothing to speak. I only try to love everyone in a proper way. That is by looking upon all as the manifestation of the Almighty. I can't say I am 100% successful in this attempt, but I am still trying. The more we try, the more we get. By loving one person, we get great joy, and if we are able to love all, we get infinite joy. In the same way, to be loved by one is a great joy, and to be loved by all gives us immense joy. It is all a play of love and joy. True love means loving another, feeling oneness with him. The other may apparently be different, but we really are one. In fact, the whole universe is a single unit of the Saguna Rupa of the Lord Himself, who Himself is the substratum of the universe. We are all one. When I stand apart from the universal manifestation and look upon all of you as as the Lord's innumerable forms, different forms, it gives me great joy. Yesterday he made it clear to us that Papa threw light on the aspect that life is God. So he was able to feel that life force in he was trying to, that's what it is. He was trying to feel the life force that is common in all of us, expressing through innumerable forms. So that we don't see them as individuals. This is the toughest, because we as individuals look at others as individuals only. We as individuals look at other objects as objects only. We as individuals will look at various opportunities as that only. We don't try to connect up. We don't know how to connect up. That everything is His manifestation. When we see a situation, we see a situation as a situation. But now here Pujya Swamiji is making us to think about it. The situation was also caused by Him. The object was also caused by Him. the individual was also caused by him. Like that. So when I stand apart from that universal manifestation, look upon all of you as his innumerable and different forms, it gives me great joy. And to go on loving that way is the best thing that we can do. We don't have to speak anything, we don't have to thank anybody for anything, because our dealings are only with him, with God. You are thanking a particular person because you feel you are different from that individual. No? In the Vyavaharic sense, it is necessary. But in our heart, we should know that. What he meant was, don't, even if you express, very nice, thank you for this, it is not from the individual to individual. The sense of individuality is thanking the core of the being. So it is not a thanks that is going from individual to individual. Because our dealings are with only God, not with individual. There are only two things, that myself and my all-pervading reality. In his innumerable forms. Papa, God in the course of his play through his innumerable forms, hides himself in those forms. He has put a mask of ignorance in each form, pretends that he is not what he really is. What I do, whenever I see you all, I put my head at your feet mentally, salute you, because you are all manifestation of God himself. My only prayer today is that I should be able to get established in that experience of seeing everybody as nothing but God's innumerable forms, and at the same time be conscious of his eternal all-pervading presence. I take this opportunity also to pray to my Lord to remove that mask of ignorance in those of you who aspire for the highest, and make you realize your oneness with him, and thus be free from the ignorance from which you are suffering. May he grant my prayers that all of us should enjoy the supreme happiness by realizing our oneness with him. So the whole thrust is on constant remembrance. If we don't train our mind to dwell on this constant remembrance, all these things are not simply possible. No? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmare vidyata. Therefore, at all times and in all places, remember me and fight the battle of life. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Same thing now. May he grant my prayer that all of us should enjoy the supreme happiness by realizing our oneness with him. That was one prayer. Life has taught me that we have yesterday on to one more. On his 73rd birthday, he shared these thoughts with us. All these years, from the time I came to the ashram, all of you have been giving me the best of your love and affection. But today, you have chosen to express the same in words. Words have the knack of exaggerating things when they are backed up by pure love. So there is no wonder I was extolled to the high skies that I feel I do not deserve this. Yet your pure love, this is the message he gives. We still remember that incident. Chandrasekhar Pillai, who wrote the translation for Maneshwari, he was here. So on that day, he told us that he has to definitely say a few words about Swamiji. So we told him Swamiji doesn't like it. He used to tell us, when somebody says something about it, it is something like pricking his body with the needles. But he said, no, I have to express a few words. You ask permission. So he came to Pujya Swamiji's room and told Swamiji, you should say yes to what I say. Swamiji smiled. You say yes, Swamiji. Finally he said yes. Without knowing how did I say yes? No, you have to say yes. So finally he smilingly said, as is his wont, So, he said, I may say a few words about it. Swamiji kept quiet. He did not say yes, sir. That is how the whole thing. And he shared some thoughts. And this was spontaneously, this came, luckily we had the recorder there. So we were able to record it, and later on we went to the office and transcribed it and then brought it out in this vision as well as later in the book. So there is no wonder I was extolled to the skies that I feel I do not deserve this. Yet, this is the message. The rest of the things we can forget. Your pure love has made you see all these things in me. So that means, when we, Mataji's words, many of you might remember, when you see greatness in others, the greatness is in yourself. When you see pettiness in others, the same pettiness is in yourself. So pure love in our heart enables us to see the love in others. That is the message. So whenever we say somebody is great, the greatness in us, there is a fusion between the greatness in us and the greatness in that individual. Otherwise you will not be able to say he is great, he is noble, he is compassionate, he is kind, he is selfless, he is inspired. All those things you will not be able to say unless it is there. So I do not blame you. I am only a child of Papa and Mataji. And whatever is said or done by me is only by the guidance and strength given by them. So all that you have said should go to him. As he is my wound, I pass it on to him. All that I get, I keep nothing with me. That means, what does it mean? He doesn't identify himself with whatever we say. So when the ego is not there, it will not own. Okay, you felt like expressing, that's okay. There ends the matter. One day, many years ago, in the course of my talk with Puja Mataji on the subject of love, I confessed to her that my heart was arid and I had no real love for others. She immediately said, that cannot be. Everyone in the ashram and all devotees of Papa love you. Unless you have love in your heart, you will not get love. Only thing is, you are not expressing it in words. That gave me the assurance that I was not after all a dry piece of food, good. I prayed to Papa and Mataji that the hearts of all of you, and now again it is a message for all of us. I prayed to beloved Papa and Mataji that the hearts of all of you that bear such love for me may expand to such an extent as to embrace everyone in the world, irrespective of whether one is good or bad, friend or foe, saint or sinner. Everyone is qualified or entitled to receive our love. A very powerful message, very difficult for us to implement. But all the same is the message. When we are trying to remember him intensely on his Jayanti day, it is not merely at the sentimental level or the emotional level. We are trying to understand what he meant, what his life is meant, what he gave us through his life. So he says everyone is qualified or entitled to receive our love because everyone is the manifestation of our Lord and He is who is seated in their heart. Even if one has done us great harm, let us forgive him and give all our love to him. Let us not forget that all the so-called harm that might have been done to us was done by God Himself for our ultimate good. Thus, without reservation or discrimination, let us love one and for all, one and all, and let there be no one in the world whom we consider as not deserving our love. When we love one, how happy do we feel? So if we love all, what a flood of love will gush forth from our heart, and what an ocean of joy will be swimming in. When in this way we are able to love all, be sure we will become dearer to God. We will become dearer to Papa and Mataji. And He will not take long to absorb us unto Himself. An all-embracing love. We will keep it as an ideal, we may say it, we may forget. Because whatever said and done, we are doing it from the level of individual to all these qualification will be there. We may not be able to be unqualified love. We may not be able to give now. But let us keep it as an ideal. This is what Pujya Swamiji was trying to get established in our language he has established. Where all of us are the beneficiaries of his love. So he was able to do it because he was able to implement this. In his dictionary there was no other. Thus, without reservation or discrimination, let us love one and all, and let there be no one in the world whom we consider as not deserving our love. So whenever we are passing through conflicts, our rights and wrongs are there. Our likes and dislikes are there, which will prevent us to extend the love to that person or object or situation. We will remember His words. And we can pray to the Lord. You have put us in a very delicate situation. You have made me to develop this love, likes and dislikes, rights and wrongs. And you made me to stretch it to the objects, incidents, situations and individuals. And at the same time you keep on telling me you are behind this. How am I to do that? So the only way is to remove from me the me and mine, and accept everything as they are. You are expressing through every individual, every object, every situation for your own reason. So I don't have to complain, I don't have to list that I like this, I don't like this, this is right, this is wrong. Whatever you prompt me from within, I should do without any other preconceived notion. Make me to accept. Like that, we keep on praying. Whenever we find we are unable to keep up this. So Swamiji elsewhere also he used to say that. He tried to develop this in his mind. When somebody comes before his room, so that he is not seeing an individual independent of this God dimension. He is trying to see the God dimension along with that individual. Not that he is not hearing, not that he is not feeling, not that he is not responding. He is responding, he is feeling, he is hearing, he is responding. But this background is there in his heart. In the 2003, writing, when he said, people say that I have been the position of Papa and Mataji, and Swamiji says, they are mountains, I am only a pebble. And then I took it as a test. He did not comment outside, but he wrote there I know my level. So I was taking it as a test given by Papa himself. In that way, this inward journey was going on constantly in him. That is another lesson he gives us. Unless and until this inward journey goes on, in Papa's case, inward journey was going on, even during the 1920 to 22 and 22 to many years later. We have seen from his teachings. So this is the process of any spiritual aspirant. This is the message they give us, not only through their writings, but also through their very life. So on important days like Jayanti, Samadhi, we try to remember, we try to understand this aspect, this facet. Otherwise it will be definitely at the personal level, which will not have any effect. Because Swamiji's Jayanti day started only after Mataji dropped the body and when he was 70, 89, when he, that also somebody pointed out. And on that day, word got spread. Otherwise nobody knew when he was born. 1919, okay. So after that, on that day night, somebody came and asked, can we have Ramnam? Yes, he said Ramnam. So everything got set from 1918 and onwards. To him, it does not matter. He was not identifying with it. He allowed everybody to do whatever. It gives them joy. So the message he gives us today is through that prayer. True love gets aligned with the love in others. Number one. Number two, as a spiritual aspirant, we are chanting God's name, we are doing bhajan, we are doing svadhyay, we are doing this, we are doing that. But all the while, whenever we see an object, an individual or a situation, a conscious effort should be made on our part to link it with the cause of everything, God. So he says, and he gives a practical proof that whenever he sees an individual, he tries to close his eyes and mentally prostrate and touch the feet of that person, affirming that he is a manifestation of that reality. And third one is, we should keep on praying. You are seated inside, please remove the mask of ignorance. Why are you hiding? I am not aware of your presence in me first, then only I can see your presence in others. First of all, you should make me to have some glimpse, some spark, something, of your presence. So kindly remove the mask of ignorance. This is the text, this is the essence of the first prayer. And in second one he says, even if somebody says something about it, if by spiritual practice we have insulated ourselves properly, nothing of it will come. The ego will not get bloated, ego will not be there. And he will take it as a test. Test meted out to him by the Almighty through that form. And then he said the love. Everybody is qualified to get our love. It's very difficult, but very good, especially in Jawahar, in administration. It is not impossible, though it is difficult. We had shared, during satsang, many instances when we were working with the Jain in Wayanad. There have been umpteen number of instances where, though we may differ, we were able to keep up the love intact. That means segregating our differences from the individual. Our relationship with the individual is intact, but at the same time, whatever he has done, even from the Vyavaharic angle, it is not palatable, if it is not comfortable, if it is not good, action will be taken. But at the same time, keeping the love intact. No prejudice, no biased view. So it is not impossible, though it is difficult. And so, Swamiji's words keep on coming. Even if one has done great harm, let us forgive him and give all our love to him. Let us not forget that the so-called harm that might have been done to us was done by Papa himself, that means God himself, for our ultimate good. Thus, without reservation or discrimination, let us love one and all. These are the powerful messages which Swamiji gave us. All these will be possible only when we try to remember Him, remember the Almighty. Otherwise, no, we will be just hearing their story. So yesterday we were reading Papa's poem. One more poem we will just read. Oh beloved, thou art the light that gleams in my eyes. Light. Thou art the joy that plays in my heart. How are we to keep up his remembrance? Outside so many things Papa has narrated. Inside also, thou art the sweetness that permeates my senses. Thou art the power that moves me to act. Thou art the love that tingles in my veins. No? Arteries and veins, where the blood circulates. Thou art the ecstasy that thrills my being. Thou art the breath of all my breath, that inhaling and exhaling. Thou art the never-ending rapture of my life. Thou art the beauty that lends charms to my form. Thou art the majesty seated on my brow. Thou art the fascination that radiates from my looks. Thou art the scent that emanates from my body. Thou art the halo, the ethereal glow around me. O beloved, thou art my life, my soul, my breath, my all. Thou art mine, I am thine, this bliss is mine, blessed, blessed am I. So every now and then we go through the poem and then try to contemplate upon it. Within we try to identify, and without we try to identify. Only when we keep up this thread of God remembrance, we will be able to rise up to the way in which our masters want us to live. So we pray to them for their guidance, they are guiding us. All these things are guidance coming from them only. We are praying from the bottom of the heart to hold our hand and take us from stage to stage until we get first a glimpse of their presence, later to get established in it. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram जय राम, जय जय राम बोल। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम बोल। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम बोल। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम बोल। हरि ओम to everybody. हरि ओम, हरि ओम, हरि ओम। प्रणाम, प्रणाम। Yes.